Yo, welcome to another video, guys. Today we are going to be talking about BJR5, guys, and how to artifact your Baleygr for BJR5. This, I do believe, is the absolute only way to artifact them. Whatever we don't cover here is what you're going to want to convert out, or what you want as a very, as a low roll. You don't want to get any rolls into anything other than this. Ideally, I do understand it's going to be inevitable, especially right now when you don't have as many artifacts as possible yet. But this is what you need to aim for, guys. So you will notice in purple we got attribute and type, the fire artifact and the attack artifact you're going to want. And then in orange we have attack plus 100, attack plus 100. It really is a must. The main stat absolutely has to be attack. For sure, you're going to gain 200 attack, which is amazing. Trust me. Now next is on, and you will notice on both sides we have the attack increasing effect. So let me show you some quick math. The reason you want this is because it literally gives you more attack every time you get an attack buff. While in BJR5 you will always have an attack buff. Next is the skill 3 crit damage, guys. This right here, skill 3 crit damage. Definitely very important, guys. Very important. That is the next big thing, and that can only be found on the attack artifact. So you need to find one that has both, and you want ideally all 4 rolls if it's a legend into those 2, or 3 rolls into 1, and then maybe convert the other one in, or whatever, or 3 into any mix. You want most of your rolls into those 2 stats, substats, the attack increasing effect and the skill 3 crit damage. The skill 3 crit damage is basically just adding crit damage to Bale, period, because he is only going to be using skill 3 in BJR5. He will not be doing skill 1. If you're doing skill 1, you're probably wiping. So that is the next best thing that you want. Ideally, you can get the 10% attack increasing effect on the left, and you can get, let's just call it 15% maybe on the skill 3 crit damage, which is actually not too crazy. Would be too high an initial roll, and then 2 rolls, again achievable with blue artifacts. Okay, for video purposes I'm going to keep this achievable. You can you are going to need to get lucky and roll these substats, obviously, right? Now on top of that, well, the rest, guys, they can be anything really from the rest of this list. So we have after that, you're going to want anything that is additional damage by X. So additional damage by attack, additional damage by defense, additional damage by HP, and additional damage by speed. Why? The reason for that is because he does have a multi-hit. So if you can stack some of these on him, it'll just be an extra flat damage every single hit. So if you stack a few of these, it can come out to an extra 200, 300, 400, 500 extra every single hit. So with 5 hits, now you're doing an extra 1500 to 2000 overall more damage to the boss. And then the last one is the attack up proportionate to HP. So guys, this is very straightforward for BJR5 Bale. The only way you want to artifact them. You can convert out anything else, really. It's not going to help him at all for BJR5 purposes. Now let me show you the damage difference, guys. Let me show you the damage difference and why you actually want to artifact them like this. Okay, now I'm going to show you the power of artifacts on my Is My Bale Good Enough chart. So quick example, let's go. You'll see I highlighted the 1600 in, let's call it purple. So if you scroll over on the 1600, you would need 260 crit damage before, if your Bale has plus 1600, right? But because you added 2 100 main stat plus attack artifacts, that technically, guys, becomes 1800 attack. So you can see on the purple that was highlighted, you would need about 230 if you had 1800. that effectively, look at that, it just pushes it up, guys. It pushes it up 3 spots and it pushes it back 3 spots, guys. So it's legit a net gain of 30 crit damage, and you can see the same examples on the other ones. If you had plus 1700, you needed 250. Now you will need 220. If you had plus 800, you needed 230. Now you will need 210. Man, it's crazy. Just 2 artifacts, it moves you over 3 spots on the Is My Bale Good Enough chart. I mean, that is a huge gain. Just maxing, spending your mana on any artifacts that have attack as the main stat. That is pretty crazy. Okay, now I'm going to show you why you want to stack this attack increasing effect, guys. So you'll notice a 2 to 4% on the left, and that is how much these can roll. So technically, each artifact has 5 rolls. The initial roll, and then 4 more rolls if it's a legend, right? So that's a total. We have 2 artifacts that you can indeed get this on. That is a total of 10 rolls, no matter what. So the total you can up this by on the perfect artifacts is 40% if you had all perfect rolls. So we're not going to use 40% because that's highly unlikely, right? It would be 20 and 20 on each, and that's extremely unlikely, but we're going to just use half of that. We are going to try to get 20% between the both artifacts. So guys, honestly, it's not that hard. You just need 2 rolls into it. You can get this on a blue, all right? Because you're going to have the main one. You're going to have the main roll because the artifact, it needs the substat to begin with, right? And it's going to have a roll. And then you just get 2 rolls on it. 2 rolls on it, and as long as you can get to 10 on each one, there you go. Technically, you could get to 12, right? Ideally, you may get a triple roll on the left side. On the attribute artifact, you would want a triple roll, and then you can settle for just, a single or a double roll on the right artifact. But hopefully, you can see that it's very achievable. Even with blue artifacts, not as easy with blue artifacts, a little easier with the hero artifacts, but it is still very achievable. Now let me show you what this thing is going to do. So we are going to bring over a little bit of quick math, okay? So now you can see I've actually just set it up. Okay, so like I mentioned, Bale will have an attack buff no matter what, each and every time he moves. So for video purposes, we're going to round up his base attack to 800. It is 790. 10 attack is not going to kill the numbers, right? So 800, and using the example that you have plus 1600 on him, that is 2400. So an attack buff gives you 50% more attack when you get the attack buff. So 2400 times 50% is 1200. Now, if you have the actual plus 20% to this attack increase in effect between both of your artifacts, that now actually gives you an extra 10%. So like I said, the attack buff is 50%, right? So what is 20% of 50? And that is 10. So now whenever he gets attack buff, he will get buffed for 10% more. So that will give him a 60% attack buff. So 2400 times 60 is now 1440. We just gained another 240 attack. Do you see where I'm going with this? I mean, you are legit going to be able to move over a few more spots. It is insane. It is insane. Now let me tell you why this is so insane. Because this happens, the attack buff happens after all of your attack is calculated. So it's actually going to be a lot more, guys, because we're not taking towers into effect or all of those juicy fight sets that we will be running, plus the leader skills and all of that. So it is going to be legit, guys. I hope this gives you an awesome idea. I can't highlight exactly where you're going to want to be, but I would say build your BJR5 team with just adding the 200 attack, and then hope for the subs. You can kind of gauge where you are. Again, if you are at the 1600 right now on your Bale plus 1600, you can just kind of go to the 1800, and now you know that you need 210 crit damage. I mean, that sounds so much more achievable now, right? It really does, man. It really does. So using the example that your Bale is at plus 1600 attack, now guys, you're only going to need 230 with only artifacts. Only artifacts. So what I want you guys to do now is obviously search for these artifacts, try to stack this attack increasing effect, and then, you know, the skill 3 crit damage, if you can also get it on your attack artifact, that is a bonus. That is legit just crit damage. If you can get another 10%, then you just move 1 over on this chart. It is going to help you tremendously, guys. It really is. So guys, let me know how excited are you to be able to get into BJR5 a lot easier now. Let me know in the comment section below. And that's going to be it, guys. This is how you want to artifact your BJR5 Baleygr. If you didn't know, and now you know. You know.